Hello everyone. Now we begin with the second to last episode of the fourth round of fight cards before we get into the play-in matches of the 2-2 bots and then the tournament and the bracket review, obviously. And so for this first match, we see a match between Subzero and Blackout. Both of these teams are sitting at 1-2, which means the loser of this match will not make the tournament. And for Subzero, they just gotta win against Captain Shredderator to get here. So they want to win again to go 2-2 and have a shot at the tournament. And for Blackout, they want to get that 10th career win. But that's going to be hard to do against a bot like Subzero. Let's see who has a lower ground game and who wins this fight down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin, and great shot by Blackout to start this fight. And there goes the flipper of Subzero, and there goes one of the forks. Blackout's already on a rampage as they put Subzero in a twirl and trying to rip off the other fork, and there it goes. Subzero is now just a box with wheels as Blackout with another good shot and another. Blackout is bringing the roar, and Blackout is tearing apart Subzero as Subzero cannot do a single thing. Blackout with another good shot and another. Blackout's forks are working great. They're trying to get Subzero out of the arena, and
knockout.
They do. Blackout got under twice and broke off Subzero's flipper like that. And then Blackout followed up with breaking off one of the forks, and then eventually the other fork, which all led to Subzero not being able to do anything. And Blackout eventually getting the knockout win and going to 2-2. Great win by Blackout. Up next, we have a match between Inverse and Son of Wyachi. Inverse, Lisa Everidge's channel mascot, is right now sitting at 1-2, which means they will be eliminated from making the tournament if they lose this fight. And for Son of Wyachi, all they need to do is beat Inverse, and then they get a tournament berth as a rookie this season. And for Inverse, they took down Black Dragon in their last fight pretty dominantly, but Son of Wyachi represents a lot of new issues that Inverse has not yet really experienced. Son of Wyachi is a very powerful full body spinner, and Son of Wyachi is only coming off of one loss. And so for Inverse, they need to find a way to get either Son of Wyachi on their back so they can't do anything, or figure out a way to win this fight. And we'll have to see now who wins this fight down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin as Son of Wyachi draws first blood. Inverse hasn't done much yet, but that's kind of how these two weapons are going to interact. Son of Wyachi is a very powerful full-body spinner, but Inverse has a very powerful vertical with no ground game. So this will be very interesting to see which bot gets the upper hand. And a great shot by Son of Wyachi. They sent Inverse into a spin, as now Inverse tries to use that weapon to put Son of Wyachi in the screws. Son of Wyachi does not have much of any ground game, as that spinner is their main source. Inverse is tall enough bot that weapon work on Inverse. Inverse so far getting some batting around Son of Wyachi a little bit too. Very back and forth, but not much of action because of how these two weapons interact with each other. And another great shot by Inverse as Inverse tries to nip at that shell of Son of Wyachi, and they get him on that screw mount, and part of the weapon of Inverse breaks off. That's a huge issue for Inverse, as Son of Wyachi starts to break off another piece of that weapon, but Inverse puts them on their back with that weapon in the screws. Son of Wyachi cannot self-right. This would be a staple win for Inverse, and it looks like Inverse will leave him there to get counted out and
10,
not go in for another
9,
attack.
8,
Inverse
7,
will move
6,
to 2 and
5,
2
4,
as Son of
3,
Wyachi
2,
also falls
1,
to 2
knockout.
and 2. What a win by Inverse. For most of this fight, it looked like Son of Wyachi was going to in fact win this fight, but Inverse eventually in some ways found their motive and started battering around Son of Wyachi despite Inverse going into a little spin. But Inverse found their groove after that spin and started battering around Son of Wyachi some more, and eventually put even Son of Wyachi on the screw mount. But what also helped Son of Wyachi was some of that weapon broke off of Inverse due to the impact of the weapon of Son of Wyachi, which did not help Inverse at all. But eventually they took over Son of Wyachi with that weapon and the screws, and then let them get counted out for the win. Great win by Inverse as they move to 2 and 2. Up next, we see a match between Deadlift and Lucky. Deadlift is sitting at 2 and 1, coming off a win against Killfang a while back, and Lucky is coming off a loss to Beta. And so, for Lucky, they need to win this fight to have a chance at the tournament to go into the play-in matches for the 2 and 2 bots. And for Deadlift, they want to win this fight to guarantee a spot in the tournament for the second year in a row. But that's going to be tough to do against a bot like Lucky, because Lucky, if they get under, they can do some real damage to Deadlift, even though that new lifter of Deadlift has been tested and works a lot better than their old one and does not break upon impact. Lucky can easily break it off of Deadlift, and those forks are very fragile. So Lucky could have their way with Deadlift, but Deadlift, all they need to do is get under once or twice, and they could really cause havoc for Lucky. Let's see who has the better ground game and who can get the win down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin. So far, it's Lucky getting under Deadlift. Like I said, Deadlift is going to have to be careful of Lucky getting under, because Lucky has a somewhat powerful full body flipper. That flipper of Lucky is going to get redesigned whether they make any tournament or not. And for Deadlift, they're doing a good job now putting Lucky in the screws. They have to continue this onslaught right now, or Lucky is going to find its groove and eventually get him flipped. And a great flip by Lucky, and another. Lucky starting to find its way against Deadlift. Deadlift is responding back very accordingly. But now, Lucky gets under again, and it could cause more havoc. But they now break off the lifter of Deadlift, and now they're causing real havoc, and Deadlift is out of the arena. Deadlift was responding accordingly to what Lucky was doing, and then Lucky really found its way with Deadlift and had a great sequence of flips, breaking off that lifter of Deadlift, eventually bringing up another fork, and then eventually throwing him out of the arena. Deadlift found some responses, but not enough to counteract what Lucky did. Great job by Lucky, as they now will move on and go to 2 and 2, and as Deadlift falls to 2 and 2. Now we have a match between Blue Flame and Bloodbath. Blue Flame has done exceptional this season. They are sitting at 2-1 this season. On their career, they were sitting at 6-8 on their career this season, and they're now 8 wins and 9 losses on their career. If they win this fight, they will be at an even record. And for Bloodbath, they're sitting at one win above an even record, and they're sitting also 2-1. So the winner will make the tournament, I believe, for the second time. Because both bots made the tournament in Season 1, but they're not making it in Season 2. So for Bloodbath and Blue Flame, the winner gets a tournament berth. And, well, this will be the first time in the tournament back from Season 1. Let's see who can actually win this fight and has a lower ground game down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the bot battle begin as Blue Flame gets under there, and again Blue Flame is getting under, and a great shot by Blue Flame on the heavier machine in Bloodbath. Bloodbath was very quick designed, a lot more durable, a lot more mobility than their last design, which was very unreliable. And great shot by Blue Flame, I meant to say. Another great shot by Blue Flame now a great shot by Bloodbath, as Bloodbath now continuing a onslaught that Blue Flame had. Now Blue Flame puts Bloodbath in the screws, putting in the screws again, trying to throw Bloodbath out of the arena, but nice job by Bloodbath, as now Blue Flame puts on the screws, and the fight is over. Blue Flame made Bloodbath look like a joke. Blue Flame had most of the control in this fight, battering around Bloodbath, and Bloodbath found some responses, but not enough to really turn the tide of this fight, as Blue Flame, the Battlebots Explained channel mascot, really showed its dominance despite Bloodbath having some dominance of their own, but they got right back to it for Blue Flame and eventually put Bloodbath in the screws one last time, and then threw Bloodbath out of the arena. Now it's time for our main event between Witch Doctor and Duke. Duke gets a tournament berth if they can take down Witch Doctor. Duke lost its last match to Matterham, the other flipper that's a lot like it, and Witch Doctor got its revenge against the defending champ in Glitch. And Witch Doctor, if they win this fight, they will have a very good shot at getting the #1 overall seed this season, which you guys will vote who gets it for. You guys will vote for. And for Witch Doctor, they're sitting at 14 wins and only 4 losses on their career. They're very much the heavy favorite this season, as Duke is gonna have very tough luck against Witch Doctor, because Witch Doctor's already beaten Matterham, which took down Duke in its last fight. Let's see who won this fight between Witch Doctor and Duke down in the pits. Let's head over there right now. Let the boss battle begin as Witch Doctor continues aggression, and they get Duke on their back for a second, but Duke is now getting under Witch Doctor. That's a good flip. That's not good for Witch Doctor. They didn't experience that against Matterham, but they are against Duke here, and now they get under great again, and they're really getting under dude again. And the fight is over. Witch Doctor had the aggression it has every fight during the season. They got under Duke with ease and eventually threw Duke out of the arena to go 4-0 and look for the top seed this season. Next episode is the last episode of the fight cards of Season 3 before we get into the play-in matches for the 2-2 bots to see what bots get into the tournament, then the bracket reveal, then the tournament. And bots competing next episode are Nemesis, the Ballistics Test Robotics channel mascot, against Huge. You see Uppercut taking on Hammerhead, the new and improved Hydra with a lot more flip power, taking on Red Alert, and a big match between Barricade and Titan. And in their main event, two bots from Ballistics Test Robotics clash that are 2-1 between Matterham and Monochrome. All these fights will be next episode. See you in the next one. Bye!